Welcome to Danger and Violence Extreme. Of course, this is the second live stream. If you're watching over on YouTube after the live stream, make sure you go down to the description down below and click the Twitch channel link and then give it a follow. Anyway, just going to hopefully let a few more people trickle in. We got Terra King saying, yo. What's up, man? Good to see you in the chat. Obviously, probably not the best time to be streaming. I think, isn't Dynamite still going or just started? Really not too sure, actually, because I usually watch it after it's finished. It's the easiest way to do it in Australia. But yeah, we're back with Dave. Now, the popularity in that last stream was a very worrying thing, because we didn't seem to gain any popularity over the course of 3 months. Which, you know, it really does have me worried. I mean, we gained popularity in some of these other regions. As you can see, we gained 2 points in the Mid-South. We gained a point in the Southwest. I think we obviously got the spillover there from Southeast and Midwest, because I think from 2016 they might have changed the whole spillover thing. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, let's just start advancing. Of course, we're also losing, I think, 3 or 4 members of our roster. I think it was definitely at least 3. And of course, one of them was Vengeance, which is arguably our biggest up and comer, I would say. Obviously not the biggest star right now, but we're getting in Sean Gonzalez. Got Toxic Turtley Top coming in as well. How you going, man? Good to see you in the chat. But here's Sean Gonzalez now. We're getting him in. He's very talented. He's also only 26, so we're getting him in. He doesn't exactly have a whole lot of hardcore, and he also can't speak on the mic, but he's a very talented in-ring competitor with 44 popularity in the tri-state as well, and he does have a decent technical ability. So he's essentially going to be our Vengeance replacement. I mean, obviously, can't really replace him per se, because he is sort of that good. We jobbed him out pretty hard though. He's down to 39 popularity, which is pretty funny. But then again, he's actually not going to need the popularity in the tri-state, because he's going to HGC, or he's now there as well. The other bad one was Eric Tyler, of course, because Tyler he's pretty old, but you know what? Not only is he beastly in the ring, but he was extremely good on the microphone as well. So he's a tough loss. Both those guys. Everybody else, you know, not so much. Yeah, hopefully we can recover, Terra. You're exactly right. But that's what I'm here to do. That's what we're here to do. So we'll try and get into the next show. I mean, if I look at it this way, let's try and look at it from a positive aspect. So we lost, 3. I think it was 4. I think Elijah Black was another guy that we lost. One half of the former tag team champions. But he's pretty bad. He wasn't doing too well. But yeah, so we lost about 4 guys. But in the last stream, last episode, we signed a whole range of, really good up-and-comers. The Peak Brothers. We got the McWades. So there's a lot of talent that we brought in that, if we push right and if we use them right, such as Morpheus right here. Of course, Morpheus I was kind of given a pretty decent push, formerly or soon to be known as American Buffalo. Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. Should probably look at maybe Tommy Cornell. I mean, he's obviously still I think he's with SWF. I think this is prior to him going, well, obviously it is prior to him going to TCW, where he essentially, I'm not sure, did he become the booker or the owner? I can't remember, but I think he might have become the owner. Yeah, I think he became the owner, and then obviously changed it to TCW. Eric Tyler Eric Tyler is an absolute monster. I mean, in this mod, like back in '97, I mean, he was literally going to be one of our top stars. He was already a top star. What I mean by that is the guy could probably, go go into like the 90s in popularity. That's just that would just be like an I don't even think it would be that hard, to be honest. You know, once you get up to medium size, that guy would be. I mean, if we use local to global for an example, it would be very similar to an angry Gilmore that is able to, you know, do some pretty impressive things. Still in SWF, yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Becomes the owner of HGC, and then obviously changes it. It's pretty funny that he changes it to TCW. Obviously, TC, Tommy Cornell, Total Championship. Yeah. All right, JJ Coles. He's been offered a contract by New York City. JJ Coles isn't actually that bad, but he's one half of our current tag team champions, so I don't think we would lose him. I don't think we're at war. It doesn't even look. Maybe we are actually, but it doesn't even look like he's going to go to them anyway. And yeah, I mean, at least if you look at this, we're actually finishing first in the regional battles, which is perfect. I mean, we're not even really putting on shows that are that good either. So I'm pleasantly surprised by that. We've also upgraded our merchandise. So first things first, let's just go straight back in, going rapid, and we're upgrading to level 5. One of the biggest things, I recommend it to you. If you're with a smaller company, pump as much money into merchandise as possible, as fast as possible. Because in the long run, as you can see, we're really not making much right now. In the long run, that is going to essentially help you and push you over the sort of profitability, you know, level. If you look at the profitability now, you know, we're slowly making more and more. I mean, just in that month, we made an extra $800. Oops, purely from merchandise. So yeah, it's good. Anyway, let's get into a show here. We're expecting nearly 2,000 fans, so I think I'll just go a generic venue, to be honest. Not the biggest fan of the venue system. Angry Gilmore is available. Didn't we sign Gilmore? I guess we didn't. Let me we'll take a look at him after we book this show. But this one's going to be interesting. Now I have to try and tweak my mind and go back to the way of, well, the way I was trying to book in that last episode. All right, so I think I want to, well, we definitely want to give Sean Gonzalez his debut here. And of course, he is a face, so we need a heel. We need a heel. Larry Wood would be a decent opponent, actually, in a no DQ. I think let's do Larry Wood, because I do like Larry, and he's also very good. But it's just the fact that he doesn't have any popularity in the US at the moment. So I feel like it would be, or we will be fine kind of jobbing him out, especially to someone like Sean Gonzalez, who is arguably going to be one of our, you know, upper mid-card sort of main event talents. And we should be able to call it as well, because they're both pretty good. Let's go with that. Not going to be the main event or anything, but all right, up next, we'll just go a tag team match. Let's have No Remorse take on maybe the Peak Brothers. Go tag team for tag team. We might even make this a... what are the matches? I think it was Wild Brawl. Was it, or was it... I think it was Wild Brawl, unless it was Car Crash. Or it's Mayhem. Hold on, let me have a look. I have to go back. Let me book that real quick. Yeah, alright. So it was either Mayhem or Car Crash, and then Wild Brawl separately. I'm pretty sure both the Peak Brothers have pretty good brawling. So yeah, I think Wild Brawl might be the one we go for this one at least, because I mean, there's really not a lot else we can do. Yeah, let's go for Wild Brawl for these guys. I might even... we'll let Caulfield be the victor, just because I want to... Obviously, Freddie Datson's really good, but we need to try and get Caulfield up to a bit, a bit higher of a level. All right, so there's the Wild Brawl. We'll make it decisive as well. I mean, that looks pretty good as far as a tag team match. Now, we need a main event, so that means we need a Nemesis match. And we need a face. Who have we got left? We've got Henry Lee. I might actually use Henry Lee in this main event. Yeah, let's go for it, because Henry's actually still got a bit of popularity about him. Let's go 12 minutes. Let's have Nemesis get the victory. But we're gonna have, I think we're gonna have a bit of outside involvement here. I think because Henry Lee and Nemesis, they were in a storyline together. So what we'll do is we'll do an interference onto Henry by Morpheus. And yeah, that'll be a pretty good main event, I think. Although Henry doesn't really have the stamina for a 12-minute match. Yeah, he literally can't do a 12-minute match. Can he do 10? Please. All right, at least he can do 10. I mean, that's really not saying too much either. I mean, if you struggle for a 12-minute match, I mean, geez. You may as well not even try. May as well not even come into work, really. Alright, we need a crowd that's been warmed up properly. So we essentially need a work the crowd match. You know what we'll do? Let's go for... Well, we've got the Wolverine. Now, you know what I want to do? Let's go for Johnny Martin, our current Extreme Champion, who actually put on a very good match at the end of the last live stream with JD Morgan. But what we'll do, let's put him maybe against Big Cat Brandon. Either Big Cat Brandon or... we'll go Big Cat Brandon. Just a 10-minute match, work the crowd. Obviously, Johnny Martin's going to get the victory. I mean, I'm not going to put Big Cat Brandon over our current Extreme Champion. There we go. So that'll work the crowd. I think I'll also maybe have an angle for Johnny Martin after, or even for JD potentially. We'll see how we go. Let's maybe do a 3-on-3, and I want to get some of the younger guys in this one. So let's go for Morpheus. Morpheus can team up with the McWade brothers, and they can take on pretty much everybody that's left. I mean, got Puerto Rican Power, who is slowly starting to gain that popularity. I mean, he's up to 20 in the Tri-State now. So I might go Puerto Rican Power, and then we go for JJ Coles and Monty, our current tag team champions. Sort of a bit of a thrown together team. We might actually give this team the victory here, because I think Monty might be a guy that I push to try and get him up to the main event. Purely for the fact that I think he should be good enough to become a main eventer. He does have entertainment skills as well, so he'll be able to, he'll hopefully be able to get himself over. Alright, so we still need a car crash, don't we? Mayhem or car crash. Probably gonna have to be this one, to be honest. So I think, yeah, Mayhem's probably the one we want, to be honest. And we'll put it there. Lead into the tag team match there as well. And then this one's gonna be hardcore, but obviously doesn't really fit too well. I also forgot to turn on my light behind the screen here. It doesn't matter too much. I'll chuck it on in a second. All right, so let's go angles. I mean, we have to go for Nemesis. We'll just go Nemesis by himself, to be honest. Might even give him 8 minutes because we've got a fair amount of time on this show. Obviously, Sean can't really speak, so there's not a lot of point giving him anything. Let's give... I don't want to give Puerto Rican Power a menace angle. I wonder if it would be better just giving him an entertainment angle. I think I might just give him an entertainment angle. I mean, maybe I should put him all 3. Yeah, let's go all 3, actually. All 3 on entertainment. So, Puerto Rican Power, who's not going to be too great. But then we've got JJ Coles, and then finally Monty as well. But what we'll do is we'll script all 3 of them. So, there we go. That'll go there. I want to chuck in... I think we're going to continue to run with Johnny and JD. So let's go like that. Johnny Martin, JD Morgan, another angle between the two, and that'll of course advance our main storyline. And then at least we know that one storyline is essentially being advanced. And then maybe we go an angle for Freddy and for Henry. Or Chris. Why did I think his name was Henry? Henry Caulfield? Is there someone else? I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll give them an angle as well. Henry Caulfield. I don't know. Anyway. Chris and Freddy. We'll script them as well. It doesn't really matter too much. I don't think they're actually in a storyline. I don't think we have a tag team title storyline at the moment. Yeah, I don't think we do. Should probably add one of those. Or at least get a few of these guys together. Anyway, I think that looks like a pretty good show. We have kind of reached the 90-minute mark as well. So let's run it. Obviously no sort of pre-show. We don't really have the money to be doing that, but we start off with a 49 rated opening contest where we have Johnny Martin defeating Big Cat Brandon in 10:03 by pinfall with a twist on the rocks. So that's a really good starting match. Good to see Johnny Martin, pulling Big Cat Brandon up to a 49 there. And of course, working the crowd. So hopefully these next, I think it's Wild Brawl and Mayhem, or Mayhem, then Wild Brawl matches. Hopefully the crowd will be hot enough to actually get some decent ratings. I think the storyline there advanced because I think Nemesis was the road agent, and obviously Nemesis is involved in this Blood and Gold storyline. Very strange that would actually advance it, but anyway. All right, we then go into a 50 rated angle from Johnny Martin, of course our current Extreme Champion, and once again cutting a promo onto JD Morgan, saying that basically just saying that the fans still hate his guts, and they want to see, Johnny come out and to beat him up again. He'll happily do that at the next pay-per-view as well. Unfortunately, Johnny was very poor trying to improvise dialogue, but you know what? He's still got a 50, so at this stage, we'll definitely take that. All right, we then go into a 39 rated angle from our face team going into the 6-man tag here. Got Puerto Rican Power, and then our current tag team champions, JJ Coles and Monty Walker. They actually look like a pretty good tag team. I'm pretty happy with them. I might actually make them a legit tag team. I mean, they are the current tag team champions, so it would be pretty fitting. I might just call them Grunge. I kind of like that tag team name. All right, the 6-man tag getting us a 37 there. We got Puerto Rican Power, JJ Coles, and Monty Walker. So the face team picking up the victory, defeating Morpheus and the McWade brothers in 10:17 when Puerto Rican Power pinned Dean McWade, the San Juan Rush. Yeah, I mean, Dallas McWade was really off his game, but as you can see, the Mayhem match really helping hide how bad Morpheus and JJ were. So, you know, it works. The Mayhem matches, they definitely work. All right, we then go into a 43 rated angle where we have Chris Caulfield, of course, guy called Henry, and we got Freddie Datson here as well. Angle with no remorse, and yeah, they're just, you know, they're trying to build themselves up as a legitimate tag team, and they hope that they'll have a chance at the titles down the line as well. 43 is not too bad. And as you can see, Miss Bliss and Freddie doing some decent work together with her as his manager. Their tag team match that's actually decent, considering how bad the Peak Brothers are at the moment, you know, in this current state and how young they are. A 40 rating out of them is very good. So we got No Remorse defeating the Peak Brothers in 9:41 when Chris Caulfield pinned Doug Peak with a danger drop. Obviously, Freddie carrying the match. And then unfortunately, we have Doug there, really off his game. So only a 19 in ring there for Doug, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I think he's much younger than Eddie at the moment. I think Doug might be, is he 18, 19, something like that? I think Eddie might be about 21. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of development left in both of them, to be fair. Yeah, solid 50 in ring as well from Freddie. All right, we then go straight into the debut of Sean Gonzalez, and we get a 45 rated match. And yeah, not so good. Not so good. If we look down there in the Road Agent report, some bad stuff has happened. Anyway, we got Sean Gonzalez defeating Larry Wood in 10-16 by submission with a Latino crab. However, a pretty vocal crowd didn't seem particularly thrilled with seeing Sean Gonzalez. And yeah, his loner gimmick getting an initial rating of awful as well. So I probably should have changed that, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does, because obviously now he's going to get a penalty for every sort of match that he's involved in, but I mean, the vocal crowd, I mean, that's now is that the third person, I think? I think that's the third person that the, you know, Dave crowd don't actually want to see in a ring. But then we also got a positive. So Sean Gonzalez, Larry Wood have pretty good chemistry, kind of boosting it up to that 45 there as well. And then the legitimate gimmick, just getting you know, the usual standard comedy penalties there for the cons. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see how Sean Gonzalez goes. I mean, he is pretty close to about 40 hardcore. I'm not sure if that's the actual problem. I'm wondering if doing or using him in a regular match would make any sort of difference, because I think this was a hardcore match in regards to the Road Agent types, or the match types. It was no DQ, you know, but it also had the hardcore Road Agent note as well. As you can see there. I mean, literally, the only penalty was that negative crowd reaction. You know what? I think it's time we might actually start pushing Larry Wood. Just looking at the dirt sheet here, I mean, he's got good selling, good star quality, high morale, a legendary gimmick as well, and of course, he's an amazing heel. So we might push Larry. I maybe should have pushed Larry with the guys that were leaving, like Vengeance and stuff, just to boost his pop-up a little bit quicker. That might have been a better option. But yeah, there we go. Alrighty, luckily Nemesis coming out to save the day. I mean, the day we lose Nemesis, it's going to be a sad, sad day. But we get an 88 for his angle here. I mean, it's pretty typical at this point that he's getting these really high rated angles. And as you can see, he clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. Alright, hopefully this main event's going to be good, because Henry Lee he's pretty bad. But hopefully Nemesis can carry him to at least a 55 would be decent. Okay, never mind. 65. Oh, Nemesis. The Nemesis is our savior at the moment. We get a 65 rated main event here. We've got Nemesis defeating Henry Lee in 10:29 by pinfall with a Nemesis arrow. And then, of course, during the match, we also had Morpheus run in and attack Henry Lee. Essentially, you know, continuing their storyline together as well. That's a good match, though. 80 in-ring there for Nemesis. I mean, a 42. Hopefully that'll actually give Henry a little bit more popularity as well. Probably not, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, very happy with that. At least to finish off this danger zone. Alright, so end the show. We get a 58. I mean, that's pretty good. That's about what we've been getting at the moment, so yeah. A 58's good. Let's do a little speech. Michael Bull has morale issues. I don't actually know who else has morale issues at the moment. But let's give some encouragement to a few people. I'm going to praise you. We'll give some encouragement to Puerto Rican Power and to Larry Wood as well. But that was actually a pretty good show. Considering that was our first show, well, it was our first show without, you know, the guys that we lost in that last stream. It was okay. It went okay. Alright, what's going on in the chat? We got quite a bit. Yeah, Johnny Martin is really good. I agree. That's kind of what... I was very tempted at the start of the series here to take the belt off Johnny Martin and put it straight onto Nemesis, but I think running with Johnny as the champion for a little while at least, you know, maybe the next, you know, 3 or 4 months, probably the way I'm going to go. And he was the GOAT of Dave in canon. Alright. Got Tyler No Shoes coming in. What's up, man? Not a lot. Not a lot. It's kind of New Year's Eve here in Australia. It's only like 12, it's now 12:30. And yeah, we can't do anything. We're sort of going back into a semi-lockdown in New South Wales, or Sydney, where I live. Even though I think we only got like something like 160 cases at the moment in our whole state of like 6 million people. And they're already putting us back into a semi-lockdown. We're going to have like five visitors in your house. Very, very strange. So no New Year's Eve parties or anything like that tonight, but you know what? It's okay. Mayhem is pretty useful for a hardcore company. Terra, I mean, I don't want to be too harsh in our roster, but a lot of these guys have real bad psychology. I'm kind of wondering if, you know, guys like Big Cat Brandon, I mean, he has like, you know, mid-70s psychology, you know, in the default game, even at his old age. Kind of wondering if, you know, most of these guys are going to get to that sort of level. I mean, you look at some of the other trash we have, like the Darkness Brothers or whatever they're called. What are they called? Darkness Warriors. The Darkness Warriors are pretty bad. Actually, he's not too bad, but Jay I think is the better of the two. But we got guys like Kurt Laramie, 28 psychology. And even Morpheus. Morpheus is what? He's got 50 now, so he's gonna be a big star, Morpheus, in our company at least. But I mean, even still, he can't call a match. I need to be using some of these younger guys as well. Although Lucas Hale, I'm sure the fans probably wouldn't be too happy seeing him either. I like his look though. He looks very I mean, apparently he's a babyface, but he kind of looks more like a heel. And like a really sleazy, dirty, you know, creep, basically. Anyway, let's advance. What else is going on? Hardcore matches shown to be reserved for the right people. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Dave is, I feel like pretty much all the match types should kind of be hardcore, if that makes sense. Henry Lee is popular enough to cover his weakness. Yeah. So what I'm hoping with Henry is, I'm hoping Henry can boost up Morpheus in regards to popularity with this storyline that we got running at the moment. And hopefully Morpheus will come out of it looking a lot better than when he first went in. But I'm hoping that it will at least boost him up to at least maybe just coming out of the mid card. We don't really have a mid card belt at the moment, so it's not exactly a massive deal. But I want to try and get him up at least to the upper mid card and main event as fast as possible, just so we have another big star in there. All right, we've got Doug Peak getting engaged. We got XFW. Now they've lowered everything. So has PPW or PPPW, RPW. Yeah, so they're lowering everything. They boosted it all up, and now they're literally lowering everything back down because, I mean, they're likely. Yeah, I mean, look at that, PPPW already in debt. Where are the other ones? I mean, Holy Weird making money hand over fist. Where are we? PDW, 111,000 in debt. RPW are actually in profit, so that's, well, they might not be in profit, but... And then, yeah, look at that, XFW, nearly 200,000 in debt. I mean, I kind of hope they go out of business, because then we can take all their biggest stars. That would be good. Wait a second. We just went up to 40 popularity. We're at 38. We didn't gain a single point for 3 months, and then all of a sudden we go up 2 points. Sorry, what? What just happened? I'm so confused by that. Young Angry Gilmore. Yeah, you're exactly. Let's have a look for him. And we could bring in Brent Hill as well. Brent Hill's very good. He's got a little bit of hardcore about him. I mean, the only downside is he's 100% a heel. And I kind of... It's the same thing with Angry Gilmore. I need some faces at the moment. But let's have a look at Angry. What's his name? His name isn't Angry Gilmore? I'm assuming he's with New York City. What is his name? He wasn't Angry Gilmore yet, was he? I'm pretty sure that came later when he was in SWF. Tom Gilmore, that's it. He's not even in here. Interesting. I thought he would be with New York, but I guess hopefully he hasn't been signed. All right, let's have a look. He's with CZCW. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, the entertainment stats. He's also irrepressible, which is just beautiful. But again, lacking in the hardcore, so the fans might be against him. Happy Tom Gilmore. I mean, to be fair, you know what we could do? We could maybe make like an alter ego for him, and when we turn him heel, he could be Angry Gilmore, and then when he's a face, he can just be Tom Gilmore. So we can actually bring him in. Oh. Well, I guess we can't bring him in yet. Unless I find a way to change that. Let's have a look at our relationships. So we've agreed to not sign workers, but I don't really want to do that. Alright, there we go. Apparently it stopped. And they have quite a negative opinion of us as well. But that's fine. Get Tom in. Handshake. Can we bump that down to 20? I mean, if we can get that down to 20, that'd be pretty good. Not that it really matters. I mean, it's minuscule amount anyway. Alright, so there's an 18-year-old Tom Gilmore. Angry Gilmore, if you will. So yeah, I think I'll bring him in as a face, at least to begin with, because we've got a lot of heels that he can essentially go over as well. as we start to grow. All right, let's go to Pennsylvania Park for this show. No real importance there either, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Oh, what instance do we have? Ooh, Mentor? Yes. Tips on microphone to Roy Stevens by Nemesis. Nemesis, I mean, the guy's coming in clutch. He really is. Some real good stuff there. Like, if we were to lose Nemesis, we'd be in some real trouble, I think. Anyway, let's book the main event again. It's just going to be a repeat, basically. It's going to be JD taking on, where is he? Johnny. I'm not sure how long I want to actually have this one go for. I mean, if we script it, we can probably go for about 20 minutes, to be honest. So Johnny's gonna beat JD again. We'll script it, even though they can call it together. But going for 20 minutes might be a bit of a stretch trying to call it. And I think we'll go regular, just because JD doesn't really have hardcore. Well, he has very, very little hardcore. And I mean, Johnny's got good hardcore, but he can do some other stuff in the ring as well, with his technical and his brawling as well. There we go. That's the main event. Surprised HGC went after Vengeance and not Nemesis. Yeah, I mean they obviously see the potential in Vengeance, and he's only 25, so you maybe could understand that. And obviously, Eric Tyler is a pretty bog standard signing for them to make, just with the fact that he has really good entertainment stats. All right, tag team title match. Let's go the McWade brothers. Let's actually add them as a tag team, like I said. So we need our current tag team champions. Alright, so I guess we'll go JJ first. We'll go JJ and then Monty. And they're going to be called, what did I say? Grunge. I can spell properly, there we go. Alright, there's Grunge. I like that tag team name. They really do look like a ready-made tag team, to be honest. So it's going to be Grunge taking on the McWade brothers. Again, it's kind of like it's not exactly a rematch of what happened on that last show, but it should be a good one. Should be a good one. And I think we can make this a hardcore. Or I might even... Should we make this the Mayhem match? I think we'll make this the Mayhem. For the tag titles. That looks pretty good. HTC is crowded in this mod. I mean, HTC, the amount of money they have, I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, if I had 50 million, on the CGC or CWC, sorry, I would pretty much sign all the best people we could, even if I just had a bloated roster. Alright, so no DQ. Who we got left? Let's go Morpheus and Henry. It's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be tough. He does have 25 popularity now, so, we jobbed out quite a few people to him. I want to give Morpheus the victory. And we'll keep him strong, just because I really don't want him to lose too much popularity. At the same time, I kind of need Morpheus to try and gain some popularity at least. All right, so there we go. That's that match anyway. All right, so I think what I want to do is let's have like a proper hardcore match. I mean, Caulfield can do hardcore very well. So maybe we do Caulfield versus Larry. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. I mean, it's another loss for Larry, but at the same time, I mean, there's nothing I can do. It's just difficult when they have that low popularity. It's kind of the easiest way to get them popularity is to essentially just job them out to make sure that they're being used properly. Savage Fury available? I think he might be available. J Darkness, yeah. I mean, J Darkness is actually pretty good, but I just don't like the Darkness Warriors as an actual tag team. All right, so what else are we gonna do? I mean, we don't have a Nemesis match yet, so we'll go Nemesis. All right, let's go Nemesis teaming up with maybe the Wolverine. Yeah, I think the Wolverine, and then they can just take on maybe Sean Gonzalez and Puerto Rican Power. That actually could be a decent little tag team as well. I think they both end up working for FCW down the line as well. I mean, it has to be Nemesis. Nemesis has to win. I mean, there's literally no way that I can make him lose, to be honest. And I might pretty much have to make this one regular as well. Just as like a... Actually, you know what? We'll make that the Wild Brawl. There we go. That'll go there. I mean, we could essentially just leave it there. But you know what? I'll go one more match. Because I want to get Freddy onto the card. Maybe Freddy versus Murderous Mikey. Murderous Mikey's got some real good menace there. But he's got very, very bad stamina. Can he do... I don't even think he'll be able to do 8 minutes, to be honest. Looks like he's going to struggle. He can't even go for 8 minutes. I guess 6 minutes will do. That's mayhem. Let's work the crowd. Actually, we won't work the crowd because I want to have a Nemesis angle, or at least maybe a Henry angle. Yeah, I guess we'll go a Henry angle. Maybe we could do both of them. Let's do both on entertainment. Because Morpheus might get a little bit of rub off as well. And of course, it's gonna advance the angle anyway. A little bit of success for both of them. And then of course, Morpheus's debut storyline as well. Come on, no spoilers. I gotta watch Dynamite later. Alright, what else are we gonna do? I guess we'll just go for Johnny. Can JD speak? JD can speak, can't it? No, he can't. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. For some reason I thought JD could speak. Never mind. Let's just go Johnny. I might go Johnny onto to my character. Because they are kind of feuding at the moment. So let's go like that. And have Johnny go, at least go over in the angle. And Vibet's going to be scrambling, shall we say. And Vibet's he's not going to be too happy with the another loss against Johnny Martin for JD Morgan. Now, Chris can speak, but do I really want to give him an angle? I mean, Larry would be decent on Menace. Wonder if... Let's try this. Let's just go for a cheeky little 4-minute angle for Chris Caulfield And we'll chuck Larry in there on Menace. We'll just go like that. That should be okay. Yeah, there's no overuse. I like it. Wolverine, on the other hand, can't really speak too well. But you know what I will do? I should probably start a bit of a feud, or at least a storyline between Nemesis and Sean. Because that should rate pretty well. Let's maybe kick that off here. I know Nemesis is kind of involved in the main storyline, but I mean, either way, it's hopefully going to help out Sean Gonzalez's popularity a little bit more as well. I think, you know what, we'll go one more angle. I think I'll just go for Grunge. Let's just go JJ and for Monty. And then I think it should be good after that. I might even add these two into a storyline just by themselves. But I like that. I like that Grunge team, though. Alright, there we go. So it'll just be JJ and Monty. I mean, I guess we can eventually put an actual opponent tag team in there for them to verse. But for now, that's a pretty good show. Who is the Dave champ? The Dave champion is Johnny Martin, who is actually doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. And the fact that he is doing well kind of means that Nemesis, won't be our champion for a little while. Anyway, let's run the show. Okay. We started with a 50 rated angle, and I think that's both of them. That was both of them on Entertainment as well. So Morpheus is doing good things. Very good things. I'm very happy that we signed him. He looks like a badass. He really does. He looks much... This render of him... I don't know. And even the name. It all just seems so much better than the American Buffalo gimmick that he has in TCW when he's older. Very strange. Stevens would fit in the Grunge stable. I mean, we could make it a stable. Not a bad idea either. Alright, the opening match, getting us a 42, where we have Morpheus pulling off, I guess you would say, a little bit of an upset. But with how dominant Morpheus actually is, he does defeat Henry Lee in 9:37 by pinfall with the Stampede. I mean, as you can see, the 42 is pretty good, considering we got a 43 there for Henry and a 41 for Morpheus. So, not a bad match. I think we'll continue with this storyline even a little bit longer. Just because I think Henry's entertainment skills can really, just be that deciding factor in Morpheus's push up the card. All right, we're then going. That's a decent rating, a 41 for the Grunge tag team here. Both on Entertainment. I think it was scripted as well, so maybe I'll stick to the script for these guys. But yeah, JJ and Monty doing pretty good things. Considering I literally just threw the tag team belts on them. I had really had no other option apart from maybe Caulfield and Freddie Datsun, no remorse, but these guys they look like they're doing a decent job. Alright, the match, or the tag team title match itself, getting a 37, so a little bit lower, but this was the Mayhem match. We have Grunge defeating the McWade brothers in 9:38 when JJ Coles pinned Dallas McWade with a launching knee. We got Grunge making defense number 2 of the Dave tag team titles. Then we also have Monty carrying the match with a 42, so pretty good. And the chaos of the match helping hide how badly JJ was performing. Yeah, anyway, it's okay. We then go straight into a 40 rated match. We have Freddie Datsun defeating Murderous Mikey in 6:06 by pinfall with a Patriot press. And then we have Freddie and Mikey with negative chemistry there as well. They don't seem to click, and it made for an awkward bout. But you know what? I mean, it was just really to get Freddy a victory and to get him on the card, so I'm really not that fussed. And Murderous Mikey, I mean, that guy he's not very good. He's really not. All right, we then go into an 81 rated angle here, where we have Nemesis and Sean Gonzalez. Obviously, Nemesis improvising well. It's another solid angle. I mean, he is the GOAT at the moment. If we had to put a label on him. And like I said, if we're to lose him to HGC or SWF decide to chuck him onto an exclusive contract, we could be facing some big problems. So, you know, touch wood, it's not going to happen. Hopefully he'll be here for the long run. That would be good. Because then we could maybe even sign him ourselves to an exclusive written contract. Once we start to make some money. Anyway, the tag team match getting us a 62. That could potentially beat our main event. Potentially. But we do have Nemesis and the Wolverine defeating Sean Gonzalez and Puerto Rican Power in 9:36 when Nemesis in Puerto Rican Power with a Nemesis arrow. Obviously, Nemesis carrying the match. And Puerto Rican Power the weak link. But Nemesis was really off his game, but he also shone in the match. Strong logic there. Obviously, everybody else around him is just, well, they're not terrible, but they're just nowhere near as good. And once again, the vocal crowd, not too happy seeing Sean Gonzalez out there. Which is interesting because, I don't know, you would kind of expect them to like Sean a bit. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't think it really affects the match rating. I mean, obviously it gives it a penalty, but at the same time, you know, it's not a big deal. All right, we then go into a 35 rated angle where we got Chris Caulfield rated on Entertainment, and then we got Larry Wood rated on Menace in this one. Obviously, Larry just looking scary. Basically, that's all it is. Just looking real scary. Chris Caulfield, you know, looking maybe a little bit terrified, but at the same time, still remaining pretty confident when he's speaking as well. All right, their hardcore match getting a 40 rating. So this is the type of hardcore match we need to be putting on. Two guys that are really good. I mean, Larry is, you know, quite superb. Just that his popularity is kind of letting him down. We got Chris Caulfield defeating Larry Wood in 10:23 by pinfall with a danger drop. Larry actually outperforming in the ring, getting a 40 in-ring to Chris's 35. Yeah, good stuff though. I like that. Considering, I mean, both of them don't really have a lot of popularity either. I mean, Chris has maybe got about 30, I think. So yeah. All right, we then go into the pre-main event angle where we got our current Extreme Champion, Johnny Martin, and of course, Phil Vibert, which is, I'm pretty sure that's my character, my sort of avatar in the game. And of course, the owner, color commentator. But yeah, Johnny cutting a promo onto him, getting a 53. But also, again, did not do well without a script to follow. I think that's 2 in a row for Johnny as well. So I might actually script Johnny from now on. Because he seems to struggle without a script. Anyway, 53 is still pretty good. Going to help out the overall show rating a little bit. And hopefully this main event will be pretty decent. It's not. Oh, I forgot about the match length. Oh, I completely forgot about the match length. That was the big thing in last episode that I literally learned. 15 minutes maximum slow build. And I've completely forgotten going into this episode. Or this live stream, I should say. Oh, damn it. It probably would have got maybe a 59-60 around there had I not made it 20 minutes long. I'm so used to booking local to global. Anyway, it's still a good match, to be fair. 54, got a 50 in-ring from Johnny and a 52 from JD. So it's still above their in-ring performances, but it probably would have been better had it been that 15-minute maximum. Anyway, at least I've retaught myself how long our matches should actually be. It's a pretty good show overall. And you know what? Giving them 20 minutes to sort of end that feud as well. I think that's kind of a good way of going about it. Because that'll probably be the last time, at least for a while, that JD gets another title shot. Anyway, let's go Michael Bull again, because I'm not sure if he is going to be too happy. I mean, Sean, I might go Sean again. I'm not too sure if he is, going to have any morale issues from that terrible gimmick or awful gimmick that he got. So I'll give him a little bit of encouragement. Oh, you question the mark? Nice. Love your comments, man, on the local to global series. They're always so in depth and really, you really talk about everything that needs to be said about the series. All right, so we've actually got a few people here. I mean, the Wolverine would have been a good one to praise there. It's actually got 38 popularity. Maybe we could use the Wolverine as our next challenger. Might be a decent idea. And then we'll have Nemesis take on Sean Gonzalez. Yeah, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. All right, so the popularity is actually going up now. Good to see some popularity gains. I mean, that's 3 points in 2 months now. Like literally 3 points in just this 1 month. I like what I'm seeing. Anyway. Yeah, good show for our current pop. I mean, as long as, that's the thing, as long as we're getting, the level or, a decent level above our current popularity, I mean, there's no reason why I should really even be going for shows that are that good. Obviously, it's kind of in me to want to put on the best show possible, but damn, a 99. Sean McFly defeating Sam Keith for the North American title. That's a pretty good match. Got a 100 from Sam Keith and a 94 from Sean McFly. Yeah, that's a good match. Anyway, HGC Hollywood TV. Not as good. Ripcord and BLZ Bub defeating Sam Strong and Dusty Streets by DQ. And BLZ Bub would be a very, very decent signing if we could somehow manage to get him away in the near future. I mean, 4 months, probably not long enough for us to sort of go up in size. I mean, Ripcord's the current hardcore champion for HGC. That's pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to change Gilmore's gimmick here, because these are all sort of the 2016 gimmicks as well, so I think they might be a little bit bugged out. Let's give him a swagger, either swagger or maybe the underdog. And let's just have a look. So we'll have a look what's in underdog, which is absolutely nothing. Swagger. Okay, I mean, there's a lot in here. I mean, there's old school face. I mean, maybe show stealer would be or teen idol. I mean, would anybody consider Tom Gilmore to be a teen idol? I mean, is he bald? I think he's still bald at 18 years old. Maybe Rogue. Rogue would be, I think Rogue. Let's go Rogue. Either Rogue or Rebel. I think I'll leave it smack bang in the middle as well. Happy Gilmore. uh, should I do it? We'll have him be Happy Gilmore when he's a face, and then we'll go Angry Gilmore when he's a heel. That would be funny. You know what? I think we'll do it. Just because I love him that much. Let's do it. Let's go Happy Gilmore. And I guess we'll just we'll save it as a save it as an alter ego. All right, there's Happy Gilmore. I like it. All right. Well, he's going to make his debut on the next show. I think with him, we're just going to... Yeah, I mean, imagine that. We call him Happy Gilmore and then give him like a long, flowing wave of hair. And then he turns heel and just gets like a straight up, bald crew cut. It wouldn't even be a crew cut. It would just be literally shaved bald. And he becomes angry. Maybe we could do... If I had a render like that, we could do like a hair versus hair match or something like that. That would be pretty sick. And be a decent little storyline. Be very funny. I would definitely enjoy it. But I think... Unfortunately, I think Tom, or Happy Gilmore, is probably going to be... I don't think the fans are going to like him. I think they're going to have some disdain for him. Similar to Sean Gonzalez. Which isn't great, but... I mean... with a decent push, he's still going to be better than most of our roster anyway. I was really tossing up between Dave and HGC in regards to this actual live stream series. I just chose Dave because it's very different to anything I've really done on TEW before. I don't think I've ever booked a hardcore company like this. So, long hair grunge rocker Tom Gilmore would be great. I don't know if I would make him a rocker, but just him having long hair, being called Happy Gilmore, and then just having a big storyline. Maybe it would be like a hair versus mask, even though we essentially don't have anybody with a mask in the company right now. But yeah, so there we go. Dave, once again, we finished first in the regional battle, and all these companies are still lowering their production values even further. That's exactly the reason why I decided not to upgrade anything. Not that we need to anyway. We lost a lot of money last month. Where are my ticket sales? Oh, I did free tickets. That's why we're getting popularity. Okay. I mean, the fact that we've actually gained 3 points, you know what? We'll take the financial penalty, at least for a few more months. I was like, where's my money gone? Where's my money? Typical fashion, me just forgetting something I did, at the end of the last stream. All right, at least the economy is rising as well. So by the time we get to that decent level of popularity, the finances will be hopefully a lot healthier, even though we don't really gain much in sponsorship. Anyway, for this main event, I think we have to go for Nemesis. Yeah, let's go Nemesis, and he can team up once again with what's his name, Morpheus, Nemesis Morpheus. I mean, even those two could be a pretty good tag team. We might actually have them. So I don't know if I want to have them take on Johnny Martin. Actually, you know what we'll do? Let's go for No Remorse. 12. Let's bump it up to 14. I didn't really check Morpheus's popularity to see if he gained any, but I should maybe check that. Do we want to go hardcore? I think I think it's fine if we go hardcore, at least for this match. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. All right. Forgot about free tickets. It's impressive that you only lost 34,000. Saying it like that, it's impressive that I only lost 34,000. It's pretty funny. Cheap tickets? Nah. You know what? I'm gonna go all out. I'm just gonna go all out, free tickets. If we're gaining 3 points of popularity, at least 2 points pop per month. I mean, by the time we get to about 50 pop, or 48 pop around that region, which is only about 7 points away, we should hopefully be making enough through attendances that it will we'll be making a profit. At least that's the thought process. Essentially what we did for local to global. Except we went back and forth for quite a while. Alright, up next, let's give Happy Gilmore his debut. Let's go, I mean, really doesn't matter. Let's go Eddie Peak, why not? Actually, not Eddie Peak, because he's at 20 popularity. Let's go Roll Darkness. He's actually got a bit of pop, so if we can take some off him, give it to Happy, that'd be decent. Do I want it to be a regular match? Definitely. We could maybe go Wild Brawl. Actually, you know what? For this one, let's go Mayhem, because Roll Darkness is very bad. And I don't even care. Let him be unhappy. I really don't. I don't care if we lose the Darkness Warriors. We'll keep Jay around because he's okay. But Roll can just go. I don't really need their tag team. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Gilmore. I mean, he's going to start as like the bog standard, zero hardcore, sort of like maybe an Eddie Guerrero. I don't think Eddie, when he was in ECW, didn't really do too much hardcore stuff. Between him and Benoit, they kind of just stuck to their technical. Obviously, Eddie a bit more high flying luchador, lucha libre, style. But all right, what is next? I want to give Larry Wood a win. Should we just destroy Jake Harvey? Larry Wood's just going to go in and basically end Jake Harvey's career in a hardcore match. We may as well. Sorry, Jake, but I mean, this poor kid's really up against it tonight. He's more than likely going to get absolutely smashed. Opening contest. Let's go for... in Tim Westy, I should really try and use Tim Westybrook as well, because he's actually decent as well. He's also only 21, so let's do Tim Westybrook and Johnny Martin in the opening contest, and they can actually take on the Peak Brothers. It's not a bad idea. We'll give Johnny the victory. It's probably not a great idea to have, but I want to make it. He does have hardcore. But we probably don't want hardcore as our opening contest. Let's just work the crowd with it. We don't really need an angle for Johnny at this point. And then let's go maybe a triple threat with everybody that's left. let's make it a triple threat #1 contenders match, the Extreme title. So we'll have the Wolverine, we'll have Sean Gonzalez, and maybe Henry. Yeah, we'll have Henry in there as well. So 10 minutes, hardcore. Ooh. I mean, the fact that Sean's in there. Actually, we'll make this the Wild Brawl. That's a good idea. There we go. That'll be Wild Brawl. Let's give Wolverine the victory. The loser's going to be Henry. It's going to be tainted, though. And then outside interference finish on Henry by Morpheus. So this storyline will continue into the pay-per-view as well. Essentially essentially Morpheus costing Henry Lee the match and the opportunity of becoming #1 contender as well. That looks pretty good. Alright, so let's go Nemesis and Morpheus with an angle. We'll go double entertainment. Unscripted. Let's give it 8 minutes. I mean, Morpheus might struggle a little bit, but we don't need success there either. That should be fine. These two, they are sort of aligning themselves together. They're not going to be in any sort of tag team or stable or anything. Is Raul the worst wrestler? I don't think he's the worst, but there's just something about him. I just don't like it. He's pretty good. There's just something about him I don't like. The fact that he's selfish as well. I think that's what it was last episode. That really kind of turns me off him. He's not terrible. But there's just, I don't know. There's not a lot about him that's good, if that makes sense. And you look at Jay. He's about the same. He's probably a little bit better in the ring. Better star quality. Can actually speak, on the microphone. He's got somewhat decent entertainment skills. I'd prefer just to have him being, in singles competition, if I'm honest. We've got enough heel tags, tag teams as well, so it's a weird one. Some of the wrestlers I don't like do crazy bumps. I mean, he's already upset. We shouldn't do it for that match. He's already upset. Let me not upset him too much. But there's the angle. We need to do some more. I mean, I could just try a Larry Wood Menace angle for 4 minutes. I mean, that should be pretty decent. I mean, Sean can speak. No, he can't. I keep forgetting that he can't speak. Wolverine's got Menace, but I mean, Henry. Let's go a Henry angle onto Morpheus, but Morpheus will be obviously off screen. So that'll advance their storyline even further. And of course, Henry does have good entertainment skills. So. I mean, realistically, Happy Gilmore, he should have an angle for himself as well. The guy has incredible entertainment stats. But I think for now, we'll just let him ride it out. At least with a few victories. I mean, what else do I do, really? I mean, I can give one more angle, and then we can run the show, but it's not a whole lot to actually give an angle. I guess maybe let's just go a tag team champion angle, because they're not on the show, but we may as well put them on the show, because I really I would really love Monty Walker to find his way into the main event. It's gonna happen. But I would kind of like it to happen sooner rather than later. Yeah, I mean, hiring a manager would be a decent idea. Might be a good idea if I sort of group up the heels that don't have very good entertainment stats. Guys like Larry Wood, Wolverine, who else? I don't know. Whoever the other heels are that don't have very good entertainment stats, and then put you know, 3 or 4 of them in a stable and then have a mouthpiece come in. And then obviously that mouthpiece will essentially be able to get those other guys over in that stable anyway. Larry Wood would probably be the leader, unless I made the manager the leader, but yeah, there we go. Anyway, let's run the show. So we kick it off with a 43 rated opening tag team contest where we have Johnny Martin and Tim Westybrook defeating the Peak Brothers in 9:41 when Johnny Martin pinned Doug Peak with a twist on the rocks. Yeah, match getting the show off to a strong start, which is exactly we like to see. I think the storyline keeps getting advanced because obviously Phil Vibert is the color commentator. So the fact that they're in a storyline together essentially means all of Johnny Martin's matches are going to be advanced. It wasn't exactly Nemesis, but, you know, that's okay. I mean, it's losing at heat, but I mean, that storyline's kind of over now as well. We're going to eventually come back around to it with Nemesis, you know, and Johnny Martin. But that's not going to be for a few months. Alrighty, we then go into a 44 rated angle here. I didn't script them this time, and they actually both did pretty well. So it's a 44. I think the last one was a 40 for Grunge. So JJ Cole's improvising well, and Monty Walker working the crowd well. So, I mean, I'm not sure if that's a one-off, but Grunge actually doing some decent stuff on the microphone, and, you know, without a script as well. All right, yeah. Oh, that's actually got me very happy. I mean, we only get a 26 rating for Happy Gilmore's first ever match in the company on debut, but the vocal crowd, they seem to like him, and I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. That was the one thing I was worried about. But yeah, we got Happy Gilmore defeating Raul Darkness in 10:24 by pinfall with an anger management. Good to see that finisher again. Yeah, we don't see it, you know, that often these days on the Local to Global series on YouTube. But good to see it, you know, once again. Obviously, he's going to be winning a lot of matches on this, you know, in this series as well. I mean, the road gimmick, he's getting a small penalty to microphone during angles, but you know what? I mean, his entertainment stats are really good, even at 18 years old, so not really something we have to worry about too much. And the gimmick itself, getting an initial rating of very good. So I'm really glad that I changed that, because that could have been, I mean, it could have been another awful. The fact that I didn't change it for Sean and for Puerto Rican Power, I really regret that. And I think from now on, I think I need to make sure the gimmicks, at least for all the new signings, kind of line up to what they're good at. Otherwise, we'll run into those awful gimmicks again, which is, it's really disheartening for those workers, because it does give them a penalty everything they're involved in. That's a really good debut. Really good debut. All right, we then go into a 51 rated angle where we have Henry Lee cutting a promo onto Morpheus. Of course, him and Morpheus have been in a bit of a decent rivalry, I would say, since Morpheus made his debut. And of course, Morpheus went over him just recently in the last show. So, you know, Henry Lee, he wants a bit of revenge, but tonight he's very much focused on this number one contenders triple threat. That match getting a 46, where we have the Wolverine defeating Sean Gonzalez and Henry Lee in 9:48, when the Wolverine pinned Henry Lee with the maul following interference from Morpheus. So, like I said when I was booking it, Morpheus costing Henry Lee the chance of becoming that number one contender for the next pay-per-view. Those two will once again go at it. We might even put a nice little stipulation on that match. Instead of a no DQ, we might do like I don't know, maybe an I Quit match or something like that. Something different, anyway. Once again, vocal crowd, not very happy seeing Sean Gonzalez out there either. And we had Wolverine, really off his game. Lovely stuff. All right. Moving on. 46 is pretty good, though. I mean, none of these guys... I mean, these two do have popularity. Wolverine has a bit of popularity, but I mean, none of them are really standouts. And I mean, Henry's pretty bad. So there we go. All right, we then go into a 33 rated Menace angle, this one from Larry Wood. We'll just, I think from now on, we'll just give Larry 4 minutes pretty much on every show with a nice little Menace angle. Just, you know, to see if it'll get him over. Couple of wins here and there as well. And hopefully his progress will start to speed up a bit. But his match, he gets a 36, where he does defeat Jake Harvey in 8-11 by pinfall with a running big foot. So yeah, just basically destroys Jake Harvey in 8 minutes. And poor young Jake Harvey, he's going to be battered and bruised, so we might not see him for a couple of months. Yeah, I mean, he got a little bit of offense in, but that's probably just because Larry's, you know, looking a little bit rusty out there. Not looking like the true star that he is. And he got a 43, so that's a pretty good in-ring. And once he gains some pop, he'll be really good. All right, we then go into a 78 rated angle, this one with both Nemesis and Morpheus. Like I said, they have essentially aligned with each other, but it's kind of like an unofficial, you know, alignment. Morpheus hasn't really joined the vibe at Crusade, if you will. He obviously was heavily involved with Eric Tyler, and now he's sort of finding himself aligning himself with these main guys, but he's not actually getting involved in their business, if that makes sense. Kind of just like an outside ally, if you will. Yeah, both of them. I mean, Morpheus did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd, and Nemesis clearly enjoying having the freedom to go off script as well. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. That's good. I mean, the 78 is hopefully going to help Morpheus pretty well, and the fact that, you know, he did that masterful job. The main event, it does okay. It's not. I mean, it's not what we've, I guess, come to know from Nemesis per se, but being a hardcore match might have affected it a little bit. We get a 59, so it's still respectable. It's still going to give us a pretty decent show rating, which we're still probably going to win the regional battle with. But yeah, we have Nemesis and Morpheus defeating No Remorse in 13:33 when Morpheus pinned Chris Caulfield with the Stampede. And then, yeah, obviously Nemesis carrying the match, Caulfield the weak link. But overall, I mean, that's a pretty good main event. And Caulfield is really off his game. So, I mean, the 31's maybe not a true representation of Caulfield, you know, overall. Just a little bit of inconsistency maybe slipping into his game. Alrighty, overall show rating. This one, I mean, it's quite a bit lower than the pay-per-view just passed. We get a 52. It's okay. Again, it's just increasing our rating. Our popularity, sorry. Who do we need to praise? I've completely forgotten once again. I mean, I'll praise Raul, just because we know he's going to be unhappy. Was Larry unhappy? I think Larry... Was he? I'm not sure if he was unhappy or not. I can't remember. Praise happy? Yeah, why not? Let's praise everybody. Show all three of these guys a little bit of love. Even though I don't like Raul. But we'll praise him anyway. Just for his morale issues. Alright, are we 42? We are indeed 42. So we're gaining popularity pretty quick now. Which is good to see. Up 4 points since the live stream started. Then again, we're gonna fall pretty heavy. Well, we won't fall into debt, because before we go into debt, I'll actually try and keep us alive, and I'll go back to normal ticket pricing. It's kind of the issue with having events as your actual shows. Because now these other guys, they're picking up morale issues as well. The fact that Bull still has morale issues, and I praised him, still angry about that rib from that last stream. Very frustrating. I mean, is there anyone that I really care about here? I mean, apart from JD and the Wolverine, I need to praise the Wolverine. So, praise. Let's just go for Wolverine, JD, and Michael Bull from now on. I think that's the play. Thin skin on that ref? Yeah, I mean, we've already praised him like 2 or 3 times as well. And he's still complaining about a minor rib. Anyway, I mean, what can we do? Yeah, Gilmore, get ready for the rocket. Yeah, I mean, Gilmore, purely the fact that the fans don't have any sort of discontent with him is just massive, because he if I do strap the rocket to him, I mean, he pretty easily could become a big star for us as well. I mean, it's almost built into the game, I would assume, that he will become a pretty big talent. I should probably check the creative meeting as well, just to see if he is going to be in the hot prospects or next big thing. And we'll just I mean, it'll be pretty good to see all of them. You know, the top 5 sort of young prospects we've got. I mean, hopefully Eddie Peak would be on the list, because Eddie will probably, once the tag team sort of runs its course, he'll probably also become, or at least have a decent little singles push. I mean, I wouldn't be against putting the belt on him at some stage. Probably not anywhere in these first few years, but you know, maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, could see Eddie Peak being our Extreme Champion. There's Steffi Chi. All right, what do we got? Financial warning for PDW. Ooh, Henry Lee sustaining a bladder laceration. Ouch. I assume that's with BBW. Is BBW the Japanese company? They are, aren't they? Yeah, Big Battle Wrestling. Would have been pretty cool to play with them as well. All right, kind of looks like we gained some more morale issues there. Maybe not. All right, next pay-per-view, Total Disruption. Of course, we got the main event between Wolverine, or the Wolverine, and our current Extreme Champion. We've got, Happy Gilmore, lifting the locker room, providing a free creative drinks for everybody. And, Nemesis taking Chris Caulfield under his wing as a protege as well. That could be big. If Nemesis passes on some psychology, that would really help out Caulfield. And Henry Lee's out injured. How long is Henry Lee going to be out for? Oh, only 10 days. 10 days for a bladder laceration. Damn, I mean, sounds brutal. Sounds like a brutal injury. Yeah, I think we definitely need a secondary title. But we'll wait a little bit. We'll wait a little bit. All right. Main event first, I guess. I think we will keep this one hardcore. So, obviously, the champion, Johnny Martin, taking on Wolverine. The Wolverine. We'll go 15. Obviously, I've learnt my lesson. I've now remembered. Yeah, I mean, it's a bog standard victory there for Johnny. And yeah, I mean that's good. It's good enough. I want him to get maybe a few more title defenses before we maybe look to take the belt off him. I want him to have a decent run. I mean, I feel like he kind of deserves it. So there we go. All right, let's have Grunge take on somebody as well. Maybe the Darkness Warriors, just for another tag team title defense. We'll have this one be the Mayhem match as well. Just because we know how bad some of these guys are, so give the victory to Monty. Of course, JJ got the last tag team title victory as well. That'll run second. We can't have the Morpheus match anymore. The Violence title. You know, I don't know if you guys are fans of Dr. Disrespect, but I think let's call it the Violence, Speed, Momentum title, the VSM. So it'll be obviously Violence. Speed will be like the high flyers, and Momentum, I guess, it's pretty standard. The person with the belt is going to have arguably the best momentum. And I'm a big fan of Dr. Disrespect. I really there's nobody better in regards to, you know, a live streamer that has the best production values you can imagine. Obviously, our company doesn't exactly have very good production values, but let's run with his sort of gimmick, if you will. All right, up next let's go. This is pushing it. Let's go Happy Gilmore taking on Nemesis. He's obviously going to lose because it's Nemesis, but it might help him gain some more popularity because it's going to be a pretty good match. So, yeah, we'd have to script it as well. Obviously, it's not going to hurt it's going to hurt his momentum a little bit, but it's also Nemesis, so you know, I can't have him going over. Yeah, strong test. That's exactly right. A strong test, but you know what? This match is probably going to beat the main event, to be honest. I could very easily see this beating the main event. I don't think Johnny Martin can't really carry anything too big. And of course, because we kind of jobbed him out a little bit, you know, he's lost the 50 popularity. It's down to 48. And it doesn't really seem like it's coming back. So, kind of unfortunate. Unless maybe his feud with Nemesis might push him back up a little bit. We just have to wait and see. Alright, what else have we got? Let's give Puerto Rican Powder a match. Maybe him versus Zeus. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, they can both do hardcore, I think. No, maybe Zeus can't. No, he can. He's got 50. I mean, Zeus is another really good talent that I should probably be using, to be honest. The fact that he's also only 19 years old. Maybe we team up. Well, we can't really team them up because they're face and heel. But Zeus and Gilmore could be they could have been a decent tag team. I mean, I kind of want to just go Puerto Rican Power, to be honest. I mean, it sucks for Zeus, but I mean, at the moment he's got no popularity. I haven't even really used him, to be honest. So, yeah, kind of unfortunate for him, but at the same time, it is what it is. All right. I mean, what else have we got? I mean, I could probably go another tag team match. Have No Remorse. What heels do we have left? I mean, we've got Morgan. Do I really want Morgan losing a match at this stage? I mean, Morpheus is up to 31 pop now as well. Go William Fletcher and maybe Kurt Laramie. Yeah, why not? We'll just go 8 minutes. Give Freddie the win. I'm assuming it can be hardcore. And William Fletcher, why is he in Dave? Doesn't really look like a Dave worker, to be honest. Guess we'll make this the Wild Brawl. I don't know. That's a weird one. That's a weird one for me. We can go one more match. Maybe let's have Morpheus team up with somebody. Maybe JD and Morpheus teaming up to take on Westybrook and yeah, Michael. I mean, even that's a bit of a stretch, but JD the win. We keep it hardcore. I don't think Cook has any hardcore. Yeah, I mean, he's literally got barely any hardcore. I suppose JD Morgan doesn't either. Actually, we'll make that the work the crowd. Have that going first. That works. Alright, so angles. Let's just go for Johnny. Just by himself. Scripted. Scripted, because every single time recently he's failed without a script. We'll go another angle for Grunge. So JJ and Monty. We won't script them, so let's test and see if they'll actually pull off another decent angle and sort of improvise well. Let's try Nemesis and Happy Gilmore together. I mean, we'll try it. Might be overusing. There's no overusing penalty. I mean, oh, there is. But you know what? I don't really care about it. It doesn't really matter too much. I mean, we might get a penalty for it, but at the same time, I'd rather just have Gilmore pick up some decent popularity. And then finally, I mean, we could maybe go for No Remorse. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Go for No Remorse. So Chris and Freddie. There we go. That'll do us. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's run the show. See what happens. We start off with a 43 rated match. We've got JD Morgan and Morpheus defeating Tim Westybrook and Michael Cook in 9:46 when JD submitted Cook with a cross-Atlantic stretch. But yeah, both of them actually. Both Cook and JD. Both are, both were, I guess, not getting a lot of feedback from the crowd there. As we've come to know with JD. Very unfortunate, but I don't understand why. Like, he, on paper, is better than someone like, Happy Gilmore. But Gilmore isn't being, verbally assaulted by the crowd. Whereas JD is, even though he has really good technical ability, really good popularity. Bit strange. But anyway, good win for those, or for that heel team, I guess. Alright, we then go into a 66 rated angle with Nemesis and Happy Gilmore. And of course, Nemesis, I mean, they both did a pretty good job. And Happy actually did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. But of course, with his popularity, he underperformed. He didn't really underperform. He would be, in theory, if they had the same popularity, I would probably say Happy would be about the same level as Nemesis, because the entertainment stats are there. Fans, yeah, they probably don't appreciate it. So maybe with Happy, the fact that he's a high flyer as well, because I think he's a technical high flyer. Maybe the flashiness and aerial is what's potentially saving him from the fans not liking him. I don't know. Either way, a 66, really good for this angle. The match itself does Pretty damn good. Is that our best ever match? It might be our best ever match. We get a 69 rated match here, where we have Nemesis defeating Happy Gilmore in 10:07 by pinfall with a Nemesis arrow. But you know what? That's a pretty big, I guess, point, or I guess it's evidence, really. That's probably the best word to use. Evidence that Happy Gilmore will likely become a star, because I know he's being carried massively. Pretty much everybody is when they verse Nemesis, but this seems a lot higher than a lot of those other matches that we've had with Nemesis and, you know, some of the less popular guys. That's a pretty... It's a good test. You're exactly right, Tyler. It's a good test. And, yeah, just some more evidence that Happy Gilmore is likely going to become a star. If we didn't already know, which we did. Okay, there we go. I mean, grunge are just getting better and better. That's a 50. So we've gone from a 40 to a 44 for the last show, up to a 50 now. And again, I mean, this time Monty doing a masterful job. So these guys unscripted, the fans are liking them. The fans are liking them, and I like them as well. I'm very happy I put the tag titles on them. And of course, we actually gave them a proper tag team name. Their match, yeah, I mean, it's not so good, but that's because of Raul. So yeah, we get a 37, and we have Grunge defeating the Darkness Warriors in 9:43 when Monty submitted Jay, and of course Grunge making defense number 3 of the Dave tag team titles. So their third defense, pretty cool. I think they might have actually versed 3 different tag teams as well. So overall, I mean, it's good. And again, the crowd weren't thrilled seeing Raul, and he was also off his game. And even still, the Mayhem match, still hiding how bad Raul Darkness actually is. That's the reason why I want to get rid of him. Basically, that's exactly the reason why. And of course, Monty dominating the match, getting a 46 for himself in ring. Righty, we then go into a 48 rated angle where we have No Remorse. And of course, yeah, once again, I mean, I think this was scripted anyway. Freddie and Miss Bliss, his manager, doing some decent things. And it's a pretty good rating. I mean, a 48's okay. Happy with that. And we move on. So their match, also a pretty low rating. We get a 36 here, but then again, they are versing jobbers, like literal jobbers at this point. And we have No Remorse defeating William Fletcher and Kurt Laramie in 7:59. And Freddie pinned Kurt Laramie with a Patriot Press. Obviously, Freddie head and shoulders above everybody else. And we had Kurt with a 9 and William with a 10 in ring. That's how bad they are. But yeah, I mean, it's just a good win. Good win for No Remorse. All right, we then go into a 29 rated match where we have Puerto Rican Power beating Zeus Maximilian in 10:10 by pinfall with a San Juan Rush. Zeus getting better at his gimmick, so that's a positive coming out of it. Puerto Rican Power with a 30 in ring, so that's not terrible, but it's also not great. So a little bit unfortunate at the same time. I mean, we know he needs a lot more work if he's gonna, you know, become a decent talent for us. Okay, we then go into a 62. So I need to script Johnny Martin every single time he has an angle. Because this 62 is a lot higher than what he's been getting recently. He's been getting like 50s. And that's when he's been struggling off script, without a script. Yeah, I mean, he's doing good stuff. And when he's gone up against a Wolverine, I'm not expecting big things. I mean, a 50 would be decent, in my opinion. So, okay. I mean, a 56 is actually pretty good. That's very good. Very happy with that. 56 for the main event. Obviously, not even close to the 69 that Nemesis and Happy Gilmore got, but it's still pretty good. Anyway, we got Johnny Martin defeating the Wolverine in 15:29 by pinfall with a twist on the rocks. And Johnny Martin making defense number 9. So 9 defenses of the Dave Extreme title. Very impressive. I mean, to be fair, he has had a pretty decent run with the belt now. So, I mean, maybe... I think we'll give him one more defense. We'll give him 10 defenses, and then maybe we'll take the title off him. But yeah, I mean, that's a good match. 56 in-ring for Johnny. And you know what? A 46 is also pretty good from the Wolverine, because he's only got about 39 popularity. Or at least he did going into this one, so... Not too bad. Too bad. Alright, we finished the show once again, only getting a 52, which is exactly the same as the last show. But to be fair, if the 69 was the main event, might have been a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Also, the angle was a little bit lower with Nemesis this time as well. Alright, so JD, Michael Bull, and who was the last one? The Wolverine. Alright, there we go. That's the praise. I need to... Well, at least now I can see the last 3 that I praised. So... We should be fine. I mean, if you look at that, it's only a 44 there for New York City. So it's pretty likely we're going to once again win the regional battle. Alright, so finally, Michael Bull lost his morale issues. Wolverine's still there. That'll probably be just one more week. I mean, the rest of these guys, they're all kind of like the jobbers on the roster. So I'm not really too worried about the jobbers. Is Jake any good? I mean, he actually looks relatively good. Maybe we try and push Jake. I know he got destroyed by what's his name? Larry Wood, but he might be a decent little prospect as well. Potentially. Alright, size. We're up to 43, so I mean, we're pretty much gaining a point per month. Although, we have lost, essentially, all of our popularity that we had in New England. Which is really bad. Because now we're going to have to essentially run shows there. Until... Actually, you know what? Let me have a look here. I'm assuming... Or maybe not, actually. No. I was going to say WrestleWorld might come in. But it's not going to, because it's set to debut in 2020. So, therefore, no WrestleWorld. Yeah. This is likely the one we'll get on. So, at least if we get onto Central Perk TV, the events will be shown in the tri-state. So then we can venture out into New England and run our shows there. I mean, we've got the spillover in all 3. Sorry, 2 that we need. So it's either Mid-Atlantic or New England. I suppose New England would kind of make the most sense as well. And that was where we originally had some popularity. Funny thing is, if I had run some of the shows there and we kept it at 29, we'd only be 6 points away from the pop needed to go up to medium. Whereas now we're literally at half. Yeah. Way tougher to build up pop. Yeah, I mean, there's no... All these broadcasters, they're not great. They're all sort of individual. And this one's not terrible. But, I mean, we need 42 pop, so by that time, we're already going to be medium-sized. And likely, there'll probably be another network we could get on once we go up to medium anyway. Potentially. I mean, this one would be interesting. That one's only 41 pop in 2 regions. So Tri-State, Mid-Atlantic. I mean, let's just say we're not getting on the pop network, are we? Actually, no, we probably would get on pop. What's the one I'm thinking about? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now. I mean, honestly, the probably the best option for us is to maybe just, I guess, get on Central Perk and then just look to build our own broadcaster once we have enough money, at least for all of the US. And that just seems like the most logical option, really. Yeah, exactly. Some of the channels may not like hardcore, and we're obviously not very... We're not looking too good to sponsors, are we? So, I mean, our sponsorship money to begin with is going to be pretty low. And then, I mean, what TV network, commercial TV network, is gonna want our hardcore product? Apart from maybe putting it into the graveyard slot at like 2 a.m. or whatever. I mean, should we... I mean, where is Kikawa? Kikawa actually looked pretty good there. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We could maybe go for a few, small regional ones. Like what was it, East Coast Today. I mean, it's 41 pop in 2 regions, and it has Mid-Atlantic, Tri-State, and New England. So whichever one, I mean, we're probably going to go with New England, just because I guess in kayfabe, it makes the most sense for Dave to be there. All right, so Henry Lee's back as well, and yeah, once again finishing first. So we're getting a decent little, attendance boost, even though the attendance boost doesn't actually matter right now because we're giving away free tickets to our shows. But yeah, there we go. I mean, to be fair, our titles are very prestigious, even if they are kind of losing some of that prestige. I mean, JD Morgan is a 3-time champion, along with Johnny. I think Freddie was as well. Yeah, ECW was originally on small regional channels. Yeah. I mean, that just makes sense. The funny thing is, WCW, WWF, they both... I don't want to say stole most of the product that ECW was using at the time, but that they were. Obviously, ECW was probably a little bit more hardcore compared to the Attitude Era and that type of stuff, but they essentially took the same style of what was happening, that sort of rebellion culture in professional wrestling. And they were on, main syndicated TV broadcasters, and ECW, for the most part, they weren't. It's very strange, but if it would be interesting to see if a big broadcaster had actually given ECW a proper chance with a decent little production value. So the workers could have been paid on time and stuff like that. And then sort of, I mean, who knows what would have happened? That's the thing. All right, so we've got Eddie Peak here, brought before Wrestlers Court with Nemesis. I mean, just the fact that Nemesis is like this locker room leader. Again, just another reason why he is so imperative at the moment for our company. There's a small positive impact there for Eddie Peak as well. All right, so generic venue, tri-state. All right, I think for this main event, we'll go back to Nemesis. I kind of like the rotation So it's like Nemesis, you know, on these highway to the danger zone. And then obviously the pay-per-view is kind of main evented by the Extreme Champion. Let's maybe go. Let's go JJ Coles taking on Nemesis. Again, this is going to be a big test for JJ. We'll give it 13. It'll be hardcore as well, so that's fine. Let's see what JJ can do. Hopefully he can be carried. So JJ doesn't have the stamina. 12. Man, can't even do 12. Yes, 10 minutes is the maximum for JJ. Doesn't really matter too much if it's only 10 minutes long. All right, who else? Let's have Big Cat Brandon take on Happy Gilmore. It's up to 19 popularity as well already. I mean, that's... What was he at originally? He was probably at about 10, you know, when we brought him in. So he's doing well, doing well. And it's just, you know, we're gonna be giving him a lot of victories here. I know he suffered defeat on that last pay-per-view, but let's make it a regular match as well. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the brawling of Big Cat will be good enough to get the match over. Yeah, great tribute to Brody. And I'll tell you what, I woke up to the news a few days ago. I was just in shock. I didn't really expect, you know, to see that Brody had passed away. I know WWE got a lot of flack over there, sort of tribute to him. They didn't really do anything. Gave the bog standard, you know, rest in peace. Real good to see AEW doing something special. I mean, I think they had originally the show for tonight was like one of their, it was like New Year's whatever special show. The fact that they scrapped that, you know, entirely. I mean, the stuff they're doing with their family, the family as well. Just great stuff. I can't wait to watch it after the stream as well. Before I head off to my my New Year's plans, which I wouldn't even call plans. But anyway, off topic. All right, what else are we doing? We need something. They showed a lot of class, but that's the thing. The thing with AEW is they want to show class. They want to be respectful. Whereas the WWE, I mean, it's just like an automated factory over there. They just, you know, they put the bog standard default, you know, if anyone passed away, really. And I know he doesn't work there anymore, but he worked there for, what, 5-6 years, something like that? You expect more from a company of that size. Anyway, let's not get into get into stuff like that. I just think, you know, anyway, I won't go into it. They could just be doing so much better than they are. All right, let's have. I want to have the Peak Brothers get a victory. So let's just give them some faces. Go Lucas Hale and who was the other one? Roy. Yeah, Roy Stevens. Are they hardcore? Not really. Kind of. Maybe let's make this one the Wild Brawl. And we'll have Big Bad Eddie Peak get the victory there as well. Yeah, I like that. And of course. Who is it? Who doesn't have it? Is it Lucas that doesn't have stamina? 32 stamina. Can't even go for 8 minutes, really? Oh, come on, man. Lucas Hale. Bye-bye. He's gone. Alright, Jakey boy's coming in. Wow. I mean, does Jake have brawling, though? Oh, he does. He has good brawling, man. He's also got 60 star quality. I mean, this kid could probably do something special. Might even put these two in a tag team together. He's got a little bit of entertainment stats about him. We call these guys the bombshell blondes or something like that. I don't know. Something to think about. Actually, I guess we can give them more time now as well. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like you ask, I mean, the ratings is evidence enough about WWE these days. They're just like I don't know. It's weird. Like they're just like a factory that seems to put out just average stuff all the time, consistently. They're just churning out average stuff. I mean, the talent that they have, it's world class talent that's being heavily hardcore blondes. That works. Hardcore blondes. I'll add that as a tag team in a second. But for this one, let's have Larry Wood team up with. I want someone hardcore. I guess Morpheus, maybe, or even Wolverine. Yeah, we'll go Morpheus. We'll go Morpheus. And they can take on the team of Puerto Rican Power, Tim Westybrook. I mean, that should be a decent little match as well. Give Larry the victory. I mean, Morpheus, I mean, he's really coming up, which is good to see. I mean, solid progression there as well. The thing is, when he was with Eric Tyler, that was real easy. Because obviously him and Eric could just do, consistent angles together. So what is that match? Regular, that can go further up the show. Hardcore, that's wild. Put that one there. Team Shred, Future Wolverine. I mean, that'd be a decent name as well. All right, let me add the hardcore blondes. So it was Jake, and who's the other one? I can't remember who it was. Go back on her. Jake and Roy. Jake and Roy. There we go. I mean, Roy Stevens, such a bad wrestler name, to be honest. It really doesn't look too good. But yeah, all right. So the hardcore blondes. Not a bad team name. And yeah, we kind of need to find a tag team partner for Wolverine. He's up to 42 popularity though. He gained about 3 points. He's back to what he was originally. It's good to see. What about what's his name? Is Johnny back? He's at 49, so he gained a point. I want to get him back to 50. Hopefully one more title defense will do just that. The thing is, I don't know who he's going to verse for that final defense. That's a good question. I really don't know who he's going to verse. I mean, maybe Morpheus? But, I mean, Morpheus isn't exactly ready yet either. The Hitman Brett Clark. That's a good one. It's pretty funny that the Smart Day fans taking up cheering for Roy, ironically, while he's getting the absolute crap beaten out of him. I like that. Still don't know who's going to verse Johnny. I really don't know. could maybe go face versus face and just go with Freddy. Because Freddy's is kind of got the popularity. I don't know, any suggestions for who should take on Johnny Martin? I mean, Eddie Peak doesn't really have the popularity either. I mean, Morpheus would probably be a better option for that. And I kind of wanted to do Morpheus. Actually, no, let's do Morpheus. Let's do Morpheus. Because then we can blend it into his storyline as well. Let me have, well, Morpheus is already involved in a match. Is he losing that match? No, he's winning the match, but he's not actually winning the match. Puerto Rican Power, I mean, yeah, but Puerto Rican Power's a face though, and he's got low pop as well, only 21. I mean, at least Morpheus has 31, so it's a little bit, more decent. And I guess in some weird way, Morpheus has kind of also aligned himself with Phil Vibert's men, if you will. So what I think we'll do to finish the show, let's have Vibert with Morpheus. So we'll grab a double entertainment, and then they'll cut their angle onto Johnny, and essentially say that, Morpheus is the next challenger. That's a good way of doing it, because I guess Vibert's kind of, he's the owner of the company, so I guess in a weird way he's got a lot of controlling powers within Dave. At least in the storylines that's kind of running at the moment. Alright, the Peak Brothers. Do I want to give them an angle together? Can Doug talk? Doug cannot talk. But he can look menacing. We'll try. Let's go Eddie on entertainment, and then we'll go Doug onto to menace. See if it'll do anything. I guess we go Larry and Morpheus together as well. Go menace for Larry, entertainment for Morpheus. I mean, I'll try that as well. And I'll probably go an angle there for we'll go one for Nemesis and then maybe one for Gilmore as well. But what do we need? We still need a Mayhem match. So let's book a Mayhem match. Singles. Let's have maybe Monty. Actually, you know what? Let's do a 6-man. Let's go Monty teaming up with No Remorse to take on I don't know who they're really going to take on, to be honest. We'll go Zeus. Go maybe the McWades. Yeah, we'll go the McWades. Just to, get them on the show as well. I think we'll give the victory to Freddy, because I think Freddy will be the first sort of challenger for the new, or the eventual new champion. I think I'm not sure if it's main event. I think it might be main event focus. Be Mayhem, Freddy to win. Well and good. Does that work the crowd? Regular. Alright, so let's go a Happy Gilmore angle to open the show. And then let's go maybe Monty and No Remorse. Let's go No Remorse. So we'll go Chris and Freddy onto the McWades. They can have a tag team match at the pay-per-view as well. I guess they can be off screen. It doesn't really matter. No storyline attached there either. All right, so we need a bit more time. Or I could just lower some angle lengths. There we go. Lower that. I don't really want to lower that one either. Go 12 on that. Probably not 12 there. Maybe 12 on this one? There we go. I mean, that works. Could have probably just put a... Yeah, I mean, the fact that I didn't do a Nemesis angle as well has kind of got me a little bit worried. I want a Nemesis angle. Frustrating. I'm going to put one in, and we're going to have to do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something. Alright, so either I need to put in another match, which I can do. I can just chuck in another match. Let's do that, I guess. Go a singles match. Probably just work the crowd. Maybe we'll go JD. We'll go Johnny. Johnny's always good to kick us off. Johnny versus... Jay Darkness. Not a bad match. Work the crowd. Johnny picking up a victory. There we go. Nice and easy. What's our problem now? Red agency. There we go. Alright, that's the show. Ooh, both Larry and Happy really being overused because of their match lengths. So I'll just turn it back down. Should be fine now. Yeah, that should have fixed that problem. There we go, perfect.